My name is Rhonda Finney, and I'm here as both a parent who has been harmed by a well-known psychologist's unethical behaviors, and as a professional who's trained in the field of behavioral science, studying people, behaviors, culture, processes, and systems. I've submitted complaints in the past, one of which you found the psychologist, who was my son's child psychologist, to be in violation of administrative codes, and he entered an agreed order with Texas State Board of Examiners of Psychologists. Both he and the above-mentioned well-known psychologists were involved in my family law case, consulting one another and influencing one another. I think today you're going to hear primarily from lawyers and those who are benefiting from an adversarial process and competitive approach. My family has been adversely affected by family law and by a psychologist. My ex and I have been able to resume 50-50 joint managing conservatorship custody outside of court and without the interference of an attorney who's driving the litigation. But the damages that have been done are irreparable. I'm shaking because of what I've experienced. We are both financially exhausted. I've faced homelessness for a few years. My ex, who's a family physician, is facing bankruptcy. He has been unemployed for a year and a half due to the outcome of our family law litigation. My son is angry. My 15-year-old son that I have to nurture and develop to be a young man has been adversely affected by all this, and I'm fearful of what you're going to hear today and what you're not considering this. His childhood was pretty much taken from him at the age of 10 due to our family law litigation. I assessed the problems to be a lack of validity of the evaluations with no well-established baseline. It's a subjective manuscript in which people's biases, assumptions, and inferences are prevalent. The way the evaluations are used in family court are as instrumental tools to lead to the following phenomena. Parental alienation, either by making child custody contingent upon the release of a completed report, for which many psychologists will demand more money, or once a report has been released and traits and/or disorders have been declared, making the targeted parent appear less fit than the other. Misdiagnosing, whether accurate or not, and I diagnosing, whether accurate or not, the parents get profiled. You're going to hear a lot of profiling today, angry, unhappy with the results. Confirmation bias, just for the mere fact that a parent is targeted to be seen a certain way, there's an element of confirmation bias. Gaslighting, a power and control dynamic which gives one parent power and control over the other parent and the children. Marginalization, dehumanization, in which they're traumatized, yet they're not allowed to show emotions. They're reacting abnormally, or they're reacting normally to an abnormal situation. Yet for some reason, people forget about the complex trauma that they're experiencing. Exploitation and extortion. It's very expensive to navigate a family law litigation. Even the psychologists that they're paying actually become part of the problem because they don't have the financial means to afford them. The lack of accountability for inaccuracy and error and oversight, and the contributions or weight a psychological evaluation has in family court, especially when there are systemic problems in family law. Family law is broken. I think that if you were to get an attorney outside of their paradigm and talk to them, they would all agree family law is broken and it needs to be revamped. Right now, it is devastating families who are in crises. They go through this process because they need help, they need intervention. Yet what's happening is they're being taken advantage of. They're being further polarized, and they're being exploited through these psychological evaluations and extorted. So please take these things into consideration. Without taking more time, I provided you information on the back side. You'll see some of the solutions I've offered. I'm an organization development practitioner. I study systems. I study human behaviors. It's very similar to industrial organization, which is in your field. Thank you.
Thank you.